Hey guys, I'm JanetOnOccasion, and today we're playing the Total War Warhammer II Battle Replay. So, as you can see, this one, we got Leonker here. I love Leonker. He's so cool. He just looks so good, doesn't he? Anyway, this is the second game in the NinjaHund versus Tlaxtlan Soothsayer of the Everchosen Tournament. So, pretty damn cool. And NinjaHund didn't go Norska as I predicted. I know. Yeah, I should have guessed Bretonia. Of course he was going to play Bretonia. Anyway, so he's got King Lewin Leonker. He's also got some questing knights, Knights of the Lion-Hearted, which are the Knights of the Realm, but yeah, just better. They're great. I really love these guys. They got magic damage. They're pretty damn formidable. I really like these guys. Anyway, also he's got some Grail Knights too there. He's got a Damsel of Life, so that, yeah, that life mage is going to be useful. I mean, look at this. This army is so expensive. Being able to heal this stuff up with regrowth and Earthblood, really useful. Do you have anything else? No, he's just got the healing. So yeah, no flesh to stone or anything. I really like flesh to stone actually on Grail Knights. It puts their armor so high, which is pretty great. So with that physical resist as well, it just makes them so damn hard to kill. Anyway, so also over here he has the Companions of Quinel, and these guys are pretty damn formidable too. So they're the questing knights regiment down, and they're damn formidable. They're really, really good, and they look fantastic. I love these guys. Anyway, also he has the Knights of the Realm here. He has some more Knights Errant and some Knights Errant, so a couple of cheaper units as well. But still, you know, they're Bretonian Knights, so they're still good. And Tlaxtlan Soothsayer here, you see, he has the Dark Riders with repeater crossbows. So these guys will be able to perpetually attack things. And yeah, in this tournament, you've got to be on the attack. So it doesn't need to be all of your army, but both factions have to be on the attack, and these guys will qualify as attacking. So that's all he needs to be able to keep the rest of his army in the woods, where he's free from, you know, Bretonian charges. So it's pretty great. So here he's got the Sister Singing Doom. These guys are pretty damn formidable, actually. Great anti-infantry. They can rampage things. They're still going to be useful against the Cav. But, well, they also cause terror, which is really good. That's going to really help against a lot of different units in the Bretonian roster. You know, especially if there are a lot of peasants. These guys will be able to terrify, load them away, and, you know, get basically the really dangerous stuff secluded and then rampaged. So Sister Doom, pretty damn cool. Also here you can see he has Blackguard of Nagarond. These guys obviously have great armor piercing and anti-large, absolutely key in this matchup. He's also got a couple of Cold One Knights. The Cold One Knight, great anti-large and armor piercing, but he's going to be using these guys defensively. He has 3 units, but he's not going to go out in the open field with these guys. They will be no match for, you know, what Bretonia can bring, especially because they can keep healing stuff up. But the Cold One Knights, they're just going to rampage, and you can just kill them at your leisure. It's not good. But using these guys defensively, they have a lot of mass. They'll be able to hold the lines, and, you know, they've got good attack stats. You know, they're going to be useful, backed up by all this other stuff. Here we've got the Hellebranai. So again, more anti-large, but these guys also poison, which will really help. More Blackguard there. In the front, he's got a couple of, well, he's got one bleak sword. Does he have another one? No, it's just the one, I think. Interesting. And he also has the Blades of the Blood Queen. The Blades of the Blood Queen, they can actually give, they have Guardian, so they're giving physical resist to Morathi if she's nearby, which is pretty cool. And also just huge armor piercing, and there's just nothing that's a match for them in the Bretonian roster in terms of infantry. So, yeah, if they were infantry, these guys would kill basically all of it. Also, Morathi in the air, she is super useful. If you look at her stats, she's got some great stuff. So here, minus 9 melee attack and defense if she's in melee, which is a big negative to their attack stats. But also he has this one as well, which is another minus 9 to attack, and doesn't even have to be melee for this. This can be constant in that aura. So you can really lower the stats of the enemies you're facing with Morathi, which is great. So great support character, especially with Melkoth Mystify Miasma, able to slow things down, just get that perpetual damage in. Also good Power of Darkness to soak up some more Winds of Magic from your own side. And Soul Stealer is great against elite things when they're blobbed up. It'll just suck up all of the health out of the elite units and into Morathi, so she can carry on fighting, which lets her stay in the front line more, which lets her stay fighting and debuffing everything nearby. So it gives everything else a lot more respite. Also, she has the Wand of Coradon. I think that's how it's pronounced anyway. So pretty good, you know, for single targets. If something's bogged down in melee, just smash it with a big old free Doom Bolt, which is rather nice. So yeah, a lot of utility out of her. And of course, you know, she does have greater Arcane Conduit, so she'll be able to just generate loads more Winds of Magic. So very useful indeed. So we're going to speed things up. So, this battle starts off a little bit silly, really. It's a lot of just running back and forwards. Seeing as how everything's in the trees, basically NinjaHund doesn't know what the hell he's facing yet. So he's trying to pull back out of the way of the repeater crossbows, and he's trying to bait in an attack from, you know, for Lewin, basically. He's trying to bring the crossbows in so Lewin can attack. So Lewin's attacking, but actually in the rules of the game for this tournament, single models like Lewin, they don't count as attacking. It has to be one of your other units needs to be on the attack. So this doesn't necessarily count as attacking, although I guess, you know, we'll give him the benefit of the doubt, seeing as how he can't actually see anything that he can catch just yet, but we'll see. So Morathi, she's going to back up. She's taking a bit of damage trying to fight Lewin, but you know, it's fine. She has Soul Stealer. She can get her health back soon, so it's not really that big a problem. Now we can see more attacking going on from the Dark Riders, and things are starting to form up. You see, he's going to make a box. He's going to have the cavalry on the inside so they can countercharge any flank that gets attacked. And it's just incredibly defensive, which is pretty great. So Morathi's still being hunted by Lewin, but that's fine. She can keep running around, and it means the Dark Riders can get more pot shots at this cavalry, which is rather nice. So it looks like Lewin's going to try and get on top of them in a second. But yeah, so there's big box forming. You can see there's, you know, units poised around the place, ready to get charged. I mean, he can see all of NinjaHund's army, so having these two, you know, flanks covered, that's all he needs. You know, these two fronts. So that's all he needs right now. You see NinjaHund is trying to move forward, try and get line of sight on something. I mean, he was able to scout with Lewin, but this is not something you want to attack. But with the Dark Riders constantly on the attack, yeah, it means that Tlaxtlan and Soothsayer doesn't actually have to move. So, yeah, I think some missile cavalry, you know, some Yeoman archers or something would have been really, really useful in this army. Also, spells do count as attacking as well, so, yeah, that Melkoth, that counts too, so that's useful. So, yeah, getting some good damage on these Grail Knights, actually. Haven't lost any models yet, of course, and they can, of course, heal, but, you know, it's good to get some early damage in, and it basically just lets him stay in the woods, which is vital in this matchup. You do not want to meet a all-cavalry army out in the open field. It's just a bad idea. It's just a very bad idea, frankly. So, Lewin's still probing, still trying to catch Morathi, but she's quick on that Dark Pegasus. So, where are the Dark Riders now? So they're coming out this way, going to try and get some more pot shots. I think possibly on the Companions of Quenelles, by the looks of it. So, things still poised. Nothing's attacking yet. So, there's some more damage, and that was a good chunk of damage. Still no models. Still no models killed, though. So, it's not the end of the world. You know, that can be healed up. And here, Lewin is going to try and go for the Dark Riders again. And cavalry is starting to move in, but he's not charging right in. He's only moving forward a bit. You'll see he'll soon start moving people around as well, so we get cavalry on every flank. So here, an Earthblood to keep these guys in the fight. Still no models lost, so not bad, but obviously it is going to mean they're going to be closer to their healing cap soon. Another Melkoth to help whittle them down. It's definitely going to be useful. So Morathi's still running around, you know, Lewin's still chasing. And here you can see NinjaHund is poising to attack on multiple sides here. And yep, moving around even further, just to try and get all of this stuff, you know, hit from every side, hoping that Tlaxtlan Soothsayer won't be able to actually, you know, split up his units correctly to sort of, you know, take every charge nicely. If he can get any unit into the middle, you know, get some good damage in, get some surrounds on anything, he just needs to find that opening, and to do that, he needs to come at this formation from all sides. At least that's the strategy he's going for right now. And here you can see the Dark Rider still firing, and still no models lost. Have any models been killed at all? Yeah, I think, yeah, a few Dark Riders have been killed, but there's no cavalry lost yet. So anyway, now poised on all sides, and he'll probably be charging in soon. So Morathi's still having to run away, Dark Riders having to run in, because frankly, they're a bit surrounded now. There's definitely pressure on the sides. And here, these guys are now going to charge in. The Helleber and I are poised to take this side, and it looks like the Cold One Knights are going to try and take this. Oh no, Blades of the Blood Queen are moving to intercept, but of course they're not braced while they're running forward, so a lot of them are going to get knocked aside. So the Blackguard are moving back, and well, this is a bit of a mess, honestly. So yeah, hopefully this makes it a little bit clear, but it's a bit of a fustercluck, as you call it. So as you can see, Cold One Knights taking a lot of damage. The Sword of Quran is actually lowering the stats of the entire army here, which is pretty great. But big old Soul Stealers come down. You can see a lot of the Knights Errant, and wow, these Grail Knights are almost completely wiped out. There's been a lot of damage here, and yep, trying to hit these guys. They're running away. They will try and get back in, but yeah, there's a lot of scary units here. We've lost, you know, a unit of Cold One Knights for the Dark Elves, but it looks like the Bretonnian Cavalry is losing more, I'd say. This is looking iffy. And things are going to start rampaging because of these Sisters of Singing Doom. You see here the Companions of Quenelles, they're stuck here for good. And yeah, everything's going to get debuffed massively here, thanks to Morathi being in combat. And where is Morathi right now? It's hard to keep track. There she is. She's still hunting down Lewin. So that's not looking great. Damsel, she charged in too. Honestly, she could have done without charging into combat. She could have just held back and supported with Earthblood. But nope, she charged into melee and she suffered because of it. Suffered a lot. You can see all the Black Guard, they're having a whale of a time. Over here, that's, you know, the Knights of the Lionhearted. Didn't have a lot of anti-large, you know, didn't have a lot of large units to capitalise on that. They just got bogged down by Blackguard. So not great for them. Here you can see more Grail Knights running, and they're actually at their healing cap. So they cannot heal anymore already, which is pretty dangerous. Knights Errant charging in once more, and Morathi going for another charge. Morathi does have anti-large, which is going to help against King Lewin. So Lewin is completely bogged down by everything. And this is getting pretty brutal, honestly. A lot of the knights are going to be coming back. Another Soul Stealer. That's going to do a lot of damage to the Damsel. It's going to do a lot of damage to the remaining cavalry that are in this engagement. It's going to do a lot to Lewin, who is now rampaged. So he is stuck in here. He is absolutely stuck, and it looks like he is wavering. If he breaks, he shatters. Everything has shattered all at once, and army losses hits. So, close victory. So, pretty textbook for the Dark Elves there, you know, just basically having your infantry take the charge, have the knights, the Cold One knights, fill in those gaps, make sure that they can't, push through into the center, and doing massive damage, you know, for the effort, which is pretty great. All the rampaging, absolutely brutal, and Morathi being able to debuff everything while she's in combat, because everything was so close, so she was able to get massive value. And those Soul Stealers being dropped basically hit every unit, so it's pretty dangerous. Pretty textbook Dark Elf play there. So, pretty damn cool. So, guys, once again, because, you know, this is weird, and we've already kind of done this, but this is doing it again, but differently. Yeah, we're basically gonna travel back in time, you know, a week, and go back to me and Dogbert on the sofa, which, you know, is novel. I think it's a novelty. It's a bit different, right? So, yeah, over to me.
Well, we're just sorting out our cam. That was a good game. Well, for one of our players, at least.
Yeah, I mean, that does spell doom for NinjaHund, unfortunately. But it was an incredibly good game.
Like, I was a bit worried, especially in the second game, it might be a situation of one staying in the wood and one staying out. But he took the gamble and really went for it, and
he
just
really
came in
did.
there and went for him.
I mean, I think it was a game of patience. I mean, with this rule set, you always have to be on the attack. Both players are considered attackers in with these rules, so they both had to be attacking the other one. But it doesn't have to be the entire army. So we saw Lewin was constantly probing, you know, being on the attack there, swooping down at the missile cav when he could, but of course the missile cav were constantly firing, so that counted as attack. So it is just which unit could be knocked out first to force the other one's hand. So eventually NinjaHund tried to get a surround on the whole army, just trying to, you know, completely overpressure every flank and avoid Shetland from, Soothsayer from being able to get to the right positions with his cav. But unfortunately, all those witch elves, everything got rampaged. They couldn't cycle charge anymore, and once you lose the charge bonus, then they're not as effective. So they got bogged down by, you know, some very good armor-piercing anti-large, you know, with the Black Guard, and a beautiful Soul Stealer by Morathi. Big AoE spell, did a huge amount of damage to all the knights, and she got a load of health back. So all those iffy little engagements where she decided to quickly attack and run away, took some damage there, but it doesn't matter. She healed it all back up, because he knew that he'd be able to get that spell off and get all the health back. So it seemed risky, but he knew exactly what he was doing. And it was able to bait an incredible engagement, which just looked awesome in the forest there. It was wonderful.
You get incredidly excited when
I really am. It was so cool.
You saw what was coming, and you were just like,
the spells, the rampage, all the anti-large there. You know, just so much stuff got trapped, and it was just like a textbook trap. You know, getting all the cavalry in the forest like that, absolutely brutal.
But it's not sense from NinjaHund's perspective. He's trailing a game. He needs to do something special. Pressure sometimes yields results, and sometimes can lead to someone's misplay. He must have known he was coming into a trap on that one, but sometimes you got to bait. You just got to go for it.
Sometimes you do, yeah, absolutely. Because I mean, he was in a position where obviously you've got to keep attacking. He didn't want to send in one unit of knights because they could get countered by all of the other cavalry. You know, and you don't want to be outnumbered. So going in all at once is his safest bet. He could have just kept probing with his lord, but if he gets caught out, you don't want your lord being caught out on his own. So he had no choice but to sort of give up that probing mentality and just go all in, which is a really bold move, but it just didn't pay off here.
Indeed. So everyone voting back before you went 58% in favour of NinjaHund, but he falls to Soothsayer. Soothsayer moves on, first semi-finalist.
Yeah.
So obviously we've got our next game. So who we got coming up?
So next up we have Dove Plays versus Shetland Apache, which I think might be the closest match we're going to see today.
All right. So what's your picks on that? Maybe give some knowledge to our viewers here about who they should be voting for.
Well, Dove Plays tends to go with more of a sort of a baiting strategy. So he'll have quite a wide front line, usually some missile troops in there. But with 360 firing arc. He likes to be able to pull away from an engagement that he doesn't like, while still getting some utility out of his units. So we see a lot of things like Cold One chariots and stuff like that, sort of on the peripheries. He's that kind of player. He likes to wait for the opportune time to get involved. Whereas Shetland kind of plays similarly, but he also likes to have a lot of fun. So he could be a bit surprising again, but he knows the game very well. He knows what every unit is capable of because, well, he's the one that helped do all the, unit, well, I mean, the rule set, right? So unit caps, he knows what's overpowered, he knows what to pay for itself. So he knows the units very well. Yeah. So if he brings something that seems, out of the ordinary, he's probably got a good reason for it. So it's going to be a tough one to call. It's definitely going to be the closest match.
Who are you going to throw in with?
Oh, I have no idea. You know what? Shetland. I go with Shetland.
Well,
That's what
I'll go on the other side of that and pick against you just to see what happens on that. And guys, if this is the first time you've ever joined in and seen Total Warhammer 2, this is a great entry point for the series. It's really good. Obviously, it's Total Warhammer. We have a campaign and we also have battles. We're showcasing the multiplayer today, but there's plenty of information out there about the campaigns as well. So if you're ever thinking about jumping in and playing your very first Total War game, Total Warhammer 2 is your best place to start. Well, enough of us talking about this. We're going to hand it back over to Turin and Atilla and Spartacus to take us over on our second semi-final match. Quarter-final match.